first thing that struck me was, whoa, Tom Hollander in a really serious role.
Do you know, Tom is really marvellous in this part. I mean, I always admired him. We worked together on Gosford Park years ago, and, you know, he's very, very funny. He's one of our best comedy actors, but this isn't a comic performance. He's really the tentpole of the show. And he's very moving. I mean, I think we're going to see a lot more of him as a leading man.
And what was it about an Anthony Trollope novel that made you think, right, let's adapt this, this is the one?
Well, we did it on spec, actually, you know. It was a punt, originally, just to see if we could find a home for it. I mean, it's just rather extraordinary. Chris Kelly came to me with this idea, and I've always wanted Trollope to be done more on television. I know, you know, he was done in the 70s, the Berkshire Chronicles, and marvellous, and the Palaces and everything, but he's not one of the main Victorian novelists we do. It's usually Dickens or Jane Austen or whatever, whom I love, but, you know, I just feel there are so many novels that would make fantastic television.
Also a very interesting time, you know, that sort of Victorian period, massive social changes going on.
Absolutely. We look at it as a sort of Christmas card with snow, thinking there was no change at all. It's quite untrue. It was a period of tremendous social change, and there are elements of that that are dealt with in Dr. Thorne. I mean, I worry slightly when people say, oh, you know, now after Downton Abbey, he's done Dr. It's 3 parts. It's very, I think, charming. I hope I can say that. A love story.
You never thought that Downton was going to be the hit that it was worldwide. That took you by surprise. So well, what happens? What happens if this is now huge? Because I looked at the actors, incredible lot of actors in this, and I thought, you know, I wonder how many of them thought, you know, I might get on board with this because it might be another Downton. He might write some more. I could be in this for 3 years.
No, no, because it's one completed story, but B, you must never think like that, you know. If you're lucky enough to have a big hit, you don't ever really know why. I don't know, you know, when people say, oh, well, I think it's because it was... They don't know why. Nobody knows why. This show goes through the roof. This show, which is very, very good, nobody cares about. There's no science to it. It's luck. And I think one should never expect luck. One hopes for luck, but never expect it.
Well, I think NBC would be hoping for a bit of luck. You're doing The Gilded Age, and this is, as I said, for NBC, and this is talking about New York in the 1880s. They're calling it sort of Downton for America, which is a big label to stick on it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, to quote Mandy Rice Davis, they would, wouldn't they? I mean, of course, in a way, they want to latch on to Downton. I don't think it's a similar society, and in fact, what attracts me to the whole business of New York in the 1880s is it was a much faster-moving, sort of higher-prize game they were all playing. You could make the whole journey in a single generation. And people were coming, people were trying to get in, you know, and Caroline Astor was sort of deciding whether they would or they wouldn't, and they would build these huge palaces and then nobody would turn up, you know. I mean, it was a much more sort of technicoloured game. And
gaudy,
I hope we get that.
Quite gaudy, quite over the top. Some of the mansions that you
some of it over the top, some of it not. Of course, very formal, which is interesting, given that Americans now are, I mean, a generalisation, but are very informal. You very seldom get dressed up for anything but an awards evening, you know. Normally, you're in rags. And in those days, it was sort of footman behind every chair and everything made of gold plate. You know, it was extraordinary.
Well, you say that you never expect a hit. I mean, you're very, very lucky because you have had a number, and the most recent, of course, being on Broadway with the School of Rock, which has just been incredible.
School of Rock. I know, that was a fabulous experience, actually. I really enjoyed it. Andrew Lloyd Webber had bought the rights and decided it was a musical for the stage. And you know, why he came to me, I couldn't tell you, but I was frightfully pleased he did. And suddenly I was writing about contemporary American school kids, you know. But it's very good. It's a very good show. We have this incredible guy, Alex Brightman, playing Dewey, you know, who Jack Black played in the film.
Big shoes.
And he's just marvellous.
Well, it's coming here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it's coming here.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and that's exciting too. I mean, the difficulty is finding the kids, you know, because when I first sort of rewatched the film, I mean, I had seen it and I knew I loved it and I wanted to do it, but I thought, oh, well, I guess we're going to have to make the children older because they've got to play these instruments, they've got to do this and this and this and this. Not a bit of it. There they are. I turned up on the first day, you know, of rehearsal. All these little 10-year-olds, you know, playing guitars that are bigger than they are.
Yeah.
And it was just extraordinary because they're fantastic. And it makes you cry, you know, as well as laugh. That's what I like.
I've got to ask you, you're an honest man. And you always strike me as being a straightforward, honest guy. So look me in the eye now. Have you been approached and are you writing the Downton movie or the Downton musical?
Well, the movie, I think, is a real possibility. And look, I'm looking you in the eye. I believe in the movie, but, I mean, they obviously have to get their ducks in a row. We could have a crowd that's really a crowd, a full ballroom that's really full, you know, and so that, I think, would be fun. As for the musical, the play, you know, Kimosabi, I don't know. We'll probably see it popping up in one form or another, but the television is done, and that won't be revisited.